to the DeepBlu podcast, episode 106.
Yep, 106.
I'm Dalton.
I'm Jimmy.
And we're going to go over some more frequently asked questions that we get.
Yay.
All right. First question we got today is, what is the overall flow of a reception?
The overall flow of the reception. That is a good one. You got that one recently, didn't you?
Kind of. People have asked before, just like, how is the reception going to go? Usually it's right after the reception, or after the ceremony. We go, everybody will move. If they're in two separate locations on the same property, they'll move from the ceremony site to the reception site. Dinner usually starts about that time. After that, it's just kind of chill. There's some background music going, and just we get everything set up, and everybody's getting in place, getting pictures done. And after about 30, 45 minutes of dinner, they'll do the introduction. Everybody, the bridal party will walk in. Bride and groom will walk in, do their first dances, get all the formality dances out of the way. And then it's just kind of mingle time for a little bit. After that, about 30 minutes after the first dances and stuff, they'll usually do cake. And then right after cake is dance floor.
Yes, that is, yeah.
About 15 minutes after the cake cutting, dance floor. Just until the end of the night.
And what happens next, Dalton?
What do you mean?
After. Well, there are formalities throughout the night. So what are the last... You're missing like three little components, but you know what they are.
Toasts are normally in there somewhere.
What are the two things?
Oh, bouquet and garter.
The two things that are slowly going away while they're going. I mean, it's rare now for clients to even want to do the garter toss anymore.
Yeah, you know? I've noticed that.
I mean, it went from like 20% of our clients didn't want to do it, then like 40. Now it's like more than half. And I would say every other couple. I mean, remember the last two meetings that you and I had that were back to back?
Yes.
That were two couples back to back. Neither one of them wanted the garter toss. Neither one of them. She felt embarrassed, and so did he. They're like, nah, we're just...
I think one person even said to me, no, I'm not going to throw my bouquet. It's mine. I was like, fair enough.
Yeah. Paid good money for that. I'm hanging on to it. Yeah.
Yeah, bouquet and garter is normally in there, and then right at the end of the night, they'll do their exit. Mm-hmm. Or sometimes they'll do it a little early, do a fake exit, which is where they get everybody lined up so they can take a bunch of pictures before the photographers have to leave.
We could do an entire video on the fake exit.
We could.
We actually may.
We might. But they'll normally do their exit, and then that's the end of the night. That's usually the reception.
You got it all. And these are, especially at the you've got most of the night is open dance floor.
Yeah.
You know, but at the very beginning, you know, there's like, I tell clients they're like Lego blocks. Mm-hmm. They're like Lego blocks. You can take them apart and put them back together any way you want to. But I mean, typically you're right. It's guests enter the room, introduction of the bride and groom, maybe bridal party, first dance, father-daughter, mother-son dance, cake cutting, toast, open dance floor, bouquet, garter, and exit. And some people have been swapping up instead of because it's the introductions, and then they go right into their first dance.
Yes.
And then right into the mother-son dance, and right into the father-daughter, and then the mother-son. But sometimes people will be introduced, come in, and then sit down, and then they'll start dinner. Especially if it's like a plated dinner, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then they'll wait and do those formality dances to open the dance floor, which is pretty cool. That's been happening more lately.
The last one I did, that's how we did it. We they had everybody come in, and they just kind of chilled for a little while. They did their formality dances, and then they did a dollar dance.
Yeah.
Which was interesting. And
did they make a lot of money with the dollar dance?
I couldn't tell you.
Did you see like money falling out of the best man's pockets and stuff?
Oh no, they were just standing there, just like holding the wads of cash. And I was like, okay.
Wow. I saw a couple one time pay off their entire honeymoon. They actually said, we're not going to take a honeymoon. They didn't really have a lot of money to invest in their wedding.
Right.
So they said, we're not even going to take a honeymoon, but we would like to do a dollar dance. And I made the comment at the finalization meeting. I'm like, hey, wouldn't it be cool if you made so much money that you could get a vacation out of, like a honeymoon.
Yeah, take the vacation.
Right. So they had their dollar dance, and it went on for like 3 or 4 songs. It went on for a while, but they made so much money. They paid for a honeymoon. I want to say to St. Kitts or something like that. Yeah, they made thousands of dollars. So,
I don't think they made nearly that much at this one, but there was a lot of people.
By the way, that's never happened before or after that. So
yeah,
that's really rare.
That's really cool that they were able to make that much money.
But see, everybody, I was talking to her cousin throughout the night, and she said, you know, a lot of both sides of family, you know, there are a lot of, you know, pretty wealthy people, and she said all the people that are here that have, you know, a lot of this money, they know that they're in financial straits and everything, so they hooked them up. And that was really cool. That was a tangent. I'm sorry.
No, but that's fine. That's what these podcasts are for.
Yes.
People need to know what happens, because anything can happen at a wedding. Everything can happen. Because
a lot of things do happen at weddings,
and
not necessarily bad.
No,
just, you know,
I've actually never had a bad situation at a wedding where something just horrible has gone.
Yeah, for the most part, people, brides especially, you out there, get really nervous.
Yeah,
they just get so nervous because they just want everything to go perfectly. But you're right. I mean, almost every single wedding turns out great. Mm-hmm. I mean, people are there to have a good time anyway, party and relax, and cut loose and have a good time. So, yeah, I mean, people are nice.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. We kind of touched on this on the last question, but will there be music during dinner/cocktail hour?
Always.
Always.
Always music. As soon as the first guest walks in the door, and actually before that, because a lot of us like to play music for the staff while they're setting up.
Yes.
But there's always music playing from beginning to end, no breaks, period, whatsoever, unless we have to turn the music off for a toast or a speech. And that's it. There's music. There are different levels of volume. Like during the cocktail hour, my approach, I think this is your approach too. When people first arrive, they're having cocktails.
Yes.
So it's kind of a, hey, how you doing? Laid back, sort of like, you know, funky kind of thing. So the music, I play like upbeat stuff. You know, not dance stuff, but stuff that's upbeat. And the volume is just kind of, you know, because I want it to feel like a party, because a party is about to happen. Then dinner starts, I turn the music down, scale it way back. I mean, I go Sinatra and Bublé and, you know, dinner music, because people are trying to eat, you know, and they're talking at the tables. I actually look around. If I see people doing this, going, what? I turn the volume down. Then when the dance floor opens, that's when we give it. Turn it up to 11.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, not loud, like, but it's...
That's where I turn it up and I kick on the bass and make sure everything's just... It's going to go off.
It's got to be loud, though.
Oh, yeah.
Not... When I hear the word loud, I'm like, ugh, you know, but it's not. It's louder.
Yes. It's not so loud that it would blow your eardrums out. You can actually think over how loud it is.
With our sound equipment too, you can get it pretty loud and it's really, really clear.
Yes.
So it doesn't typically bother people's ears.
Right.
Which is cool.
And we make adjustments if we think that we're losing sound in any way, shape, or form.
Yep.
We do make adjustments as we go, because we can see when things are peaking. We can see all that.
Yeah, the little red LED tells you everything.
Oh yeah, the second that it hits red, we're like, ooh, wait.
Back it up. I have a dB meter on my phone.
So do I.
And I like to, not every time, but every other time, you know, I'll actually see how loud, like at the loudest point of the evening, I will bring my dB meter out. And it's never over 104. I mean, which is pretty loud. A plane flying over your head at an airport, like almost at ground level, just took off. It's like 145 dB. So that's loud. So 104, not bad.
Usually we're all stopped, like whenever I test it, the last place I tested was Cedar Hall. Right there in that little corner that we got. It's, I think I hit 108.
At Cedar Hall?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, you were pushing it.
Any more than that, it would have been just obnoxious.
We're talking right now between 50 and 60 dB.
Yeah.
So just double that, pretty much.
Pretty much. Did you have any more points on the cocktail?
No, I think this one.
All right. For us, what are the best songs for the bridal party entrance into a reception? Like, how do we get people hyped for the bridal party to walk in?
That's a clue, because the song has to be hype.
Yes.
It's got to be up there. I like songs that have that, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Old ones like Party Rock Anthem or Forever by Chris Brown, or I don't know, when they don't care. If it's a really, really, really upscale kind of thing, I might play some of that ultra lounge techno, which is oomph, oomph, you know. But contemporary songs like Uptown Funk, Can't Stop the Feeling, and they change. I mean, whatever new song comes out, people typically want to be introduced to that because it's just so cool and good way to start the party.
Well, I had one wedding that I did that they were just like, we don't want what everybody else uses. We want something that's going to be just us.
What there is no one song that everybody really uses.
There isn't.
Except for Uptown Funk. People really like that one.
A lot of people use Uptown Funk. I used a song from Polyphia as the way to introduce, because it's all instrumental.
Have you let me hear that?
It's called Goose. I'll let you hear it.
Polyphia.
Yeah. It's got a real big build up, and it has a real good drop in the middle of it. It's awesome.
What kind of band is that?
Polyphia?
Yeah.
They're kind of a middle ground metal. They're not like super hardcore, but they've got more. I'm trying to think of the word. Melodic.
Do they use a lot of electronica?
Yes.
Okay, so that's okay. I was wondering why you're using a metal band song, but electronica, that makes sense.
It has a lot of electronic. They have a lot of keyboard stuff. Yeah.
Okay.
It's real big. It's got that big, like you were saying, that it hits really hard, and it's awesome. And they loved it. They thought it was the coolest thing in the world. They thought it was the most unique song that they could have used. And I was just like, this is awesome.
Let's put a link to that in the description.
Absolutely. There's a video on YouTube.
So you won't have to Google it.
Absolutely.
But yeah,
there's all kinds of stuff.
I think each one of us out of the, DJs that are here at DeepBlu, I think we all have our favorites. I've got my staple introduction songs I like to play.
I've got an instrumental for Uptown Funk I'll use.
And Can't Stop the Feeling.
Yeah.
So you get the song without getting the song.
Yeah. Because then you can save the actual song for later in the night.
Yeah. It's just a good song.
It's
like September by Earth, Wind, and Fire. You go to a wedding and it's like, I'm going to hear September. I'm going to hear Uptown Funk.
And they're going to love it.
Yeah. And you get the guy that walks up to you that goes, I know you got ice, baby, don't you? Yes, I do.
Absolutely. Nick.
Okay.
All right.
That was fun. What's the next question?
All right. The last question is, what are the best songs for prelude? For the prelude before the ceremony? It's subjective.
It's based on your opinion. What we do, and I'm going to put a link to another video that I shot just the other day about ceremony.
Yes.
About the 30 must play songs or whatever.
Yes.
I should probably post that. Because I kind of touch on this. In the prelude, it's the portion of time before the ceremony actually starts, which is about 30 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
So whatever songs that you choose for your ceremony, you should probably have similar songs for your prelude. There's a lot of different ways to go. People ask, is it appropriate to play songs with lyrics in the song,
mm-hmm.
or vocals in the song for ceremony? In my opinion, the prelude is when you do that.
Yes.
The actual ceremony, I would stick with instrumental songs. So if you have a song by Jason Mraz or Train, with the vocals, play that in the prelude. And if you want to play another Jason Mraz song, play the instrumental version during the ceremony. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's kind of because to me, the prelude and the ceremony are two separate things.
Right.
I don't think the prelude is part of the ceremony, just because I think the music distinguishes. You know what I mean? Vitamin String Quartet is a good band to play during the ceremony because they're all instrumental. They take country songs, rock songs, pop songs, disco songs, and string quartet-ify them.
Mm-hmm.
They're really good. 2 cellos, the piano guys.
Oh yeah.
But the ceremony, I don't know, you take the ball. I mean, I don't know. It's a personal preference thing, what you play during the
prelude. A lot of people ask us what we think, and I usually tell them, like, piano guys, Marry Me by Train always works. There's 1,000 covers of Can't Help Falling in Love by Elvis Presley.
But your favorite is
Haley Reinhart.
Haley Reinhart.
That version is the best one I've found. It works every time. People love it. I've got.
She does a really good job with that song.
It is a phenomenal version.
Because she sounds so sweet. She's just a sweet, sweet little voice.
And there, I've also got a version of "Stand By Me" that I use sometimes.
Who's that by?
Imagine Dragons.
I think we talked about that one time.
Possibly.
I don't think I've ever heard that song.
Their version of it?
Yeah, I don't think I have.
I actually got it from a bride that wanted to use it for her father-daughter dance. And I've used it ever since. I've been using it for almost a year now. It's phenomenal.
Remakes are really good for a lot of reasons, especially if they do a really good job actually performing the song.
Yes.
You and I had a discussion not long ago about remaking a song. Have you heard Weezer's version of Africa?
I've not.
It is good.
Is it?
The thing about remakes is back whenever, especially a song that's a classic that's been around for a long time, recording equipment wasn't all that great, and then when an artist comes around and just performs the heck out of it with modern equipment,
yeah,
I mean, it just sounds phenomenal. I mean, you've already got a good song. It's 4 times better because it sounds better, which is the Haley
Reinhart version of it is really good.
The song "Over the Rainbow" by Judy Garland.
Yes.
Have you heard the version by Ava Cassidy?
I think so.
It will make you cry.
Really?
Have you seen the movie Alpha Dog with Justin Timberlake and Anton Yelchin?
I don't think I have, but I know what movie you're talking about.
It's the first song in the movie.
Oh.
Yeah. It's scary, sad, but beautiful at the same time. It's just it's nice. We'll put a link to that in the description.
Absolutely.
But yeah, prelude music is a personal preference. What if you're doing a traditional classical ceremony, stick with traditional classical for your prelude. You're doing a country ceremony, stick with country for your prelude. Try to have a typical theme. If you want to play a bunch of different stuff, then go with a band like the Vitamin String Quartet or 2 cellos or piano guys, because they do remakes, instrumental versions.
And the piano guys have covers of everything.
Yeah, and they're good, man. They're really good.
It's insane. I looked through their library the other day. I was just like, there's so much good stuff on this.
Yeah, they really branched out because at one time they were just a dude like playing and beating on a piano kind of thing. That was like their gig, but now they're multi instrumentalists now. So. And
they also have a really good cover of "Can't Help Falling in Love."
They do.
They have a really good version.
They have a lot of good covers of a lot of stuff.
But that's all I had to talk about today.
Well, that was really fun. I enjoyed this.
Yeah, that was
nice talking to you. Okay. Well, thanks for tuning in, everybody. We will see you next time.
All right. Bye.